Top story that we are following here on India Today. It's the electoral revision that has now reached the top court. The Association of Democratic Reforms has moved the Supreme Court. They have filed a petition in the Supreme Court challenging the rule revision. Election Commission exercise is disrupting fair polls. That's what the plea says. Election Commission's role revision order is arbitrary. ADR is seeking urgent hearing in the Supreme Court over this matter. The Election Commission of India at the moment is looking at the SRI, that is the revision of polls that is taking place, a list of 11 documents. Any of those can be given out by those who are staying in Bihar. The electoral roll now is being revised. The Election Commission has said that this is a revision which was pending for the past many years. A door-to-door revision is also taking place in the state of Bihar. The opposition parties have met Election Commission. They have told the Election Commission about their apprehensions. The role of the BLOs, those are the booth level officers which come under the Election Commission, is now being looked at. BLAs, the booth level agents that are appointed by political parties before the elections take place, that is also something that is now being looked at. The electoral revision controversy has now reached the Supreme Court. It's the Association of Democratic Reforms, ADR, that has moved Supreme Court. My colleague Anisha Mathur now joining me on the story. Anisha, we were hearing that there were chances that someone or the other could actually knock on the Supreme Court. Political parties had said that if they feel, they will definitely knock on the doors of the Supreme Court. And now it's the ADR which has moved the Supreme Court. A plea has been submitted.
Well, yes, Aishwarya, a lot of people have questioned the electoral roll revision, but ADR seems to be first on the block when it comes to filing the actual petition. Remember, ADR had earlier also raised questions regarding electoral roll revision. It had raised questions regarding voter lists, and now it is saying that the exclusion of documentation such as Aadhaar and ration cards as verification documents will lead to lakhs of people getting excluded from getting cancelled from the voter list. Since especially they've raised the question of the migrant laborers, the poor people, the village dwellers in Bihar. In many areas, even today, they are saying that because of the poverty, because of the lack of infrastructure, a lot of people will not be able to prove their parents' documentation, which is now something that is being asked for in these revised rules. So they are saying that while somebody born in the last 20 years may well have this kind of documentation, older people, particularly in the rural areas, particularly those who worked as migrant laborers, etc., or have been affected by natural disasters, etc., will not be able to give any such proof, particularly when it comes to the older generation, persons over 40 or 50 years of age, who will not have any birth certificates, who would not likely to have any school certificates or voter list details of their parents. So this effectively will lead to lakhs of people being excluded, and that is why ADR has sought both a stay and setting aside of the ECI's notification for this special role.
Right. Anisha, if you can tell us any rough idea, when can we expect the plea to be taken up? Because we understand ADR has filed the plea. Any clarity on when we can see the plea being taken up in the Supreme Court?
See, normally because the Supreme Court is still on vacation, which is partial working, normally any petitions filed by Friday are listed for hearing on the Tuesday that is immediately followed. But today is a Saturday. We'll have to see, because we've spoken to the ADR representatives. They are saying that they're going to try and mention the matter also for urgent listing. So we'll have to wait and see when it comes up, whether it gets cleared from the registry and listed as a matter of course, which would be around either the Tuesday or Wednesday, or if they mention the matter for urgent listing, what decision is taken by the Supreme Court administration. It is currently...
Right, Anisha. Thank you. My colleague Anisha there breaking it down for us and also saying that we will now have to wait and watch when the plea is taken up in Supreme Court. But the Association of Democratic Reforms, the ADR, has moved Supreme Court against the electoral revision that is taking place in the state of Bihar.